In today's video, we are going to study a game which was played between Kay Gerasimov versus Vasily Smyslov. This game was played in Moscow in 1935, and this game was played in Queen Pan's opening. The game started with d4 and d5. Gerasimov was white and Vasily Smyslov was black. The opening went out properly theoretically, and in the middle game, due to a blunder from white side, Gerasimov, Wesley Smyslov went out for a beautiful combination. The game continued like knight f3, now knight f6, developing the move and going to take control of over this square. e4 in the white's territory, e3 by white, now e6 by black. The point of playing this move e6 is that black is saying that okay, I'm going to play the moves like c5, going to play my moves to b6. I'm going to develop my bishop like this way, in this way. I'm going to Fanchito my bishop on b7. And this is the old version actually of playing this type of game. At that time, it was very famous. Bishop d3 by white, now c5. He went out with his plan, and the c5 pawn is hitting this pawn over here. If white takes it, then black would have an advantage. So b3 by white. White is also saying, okay, my bishop is also struck to this pawn over here on e3, and I am going to develop my bishop over here on b2. Knight c6. Developing the knight, taking control of this square, b4, and hitting this pawn over here, building some pressure over here on d4 pawn. Now, bishop b2 by black, sorry, white. He's developing normally. Now, bishop d6. Developing the dark square bishop first, and now castle by white. And white has completed his development over here. Now, black plays the move queen c7. This is all the normal developments. You are developing your queen. Now, this bishop and queen are eyeing this pawn over here on h7. e3 by white. Still here, uh, white could have gone for this move, d into c5. The reason for d into c5 was that now it opens this diagonal for white's bishop, and still black's bishop is stuck over here. But white's bishop is very active. This second bishop is eyeing this square h7, pawn h7, and this knight can jump just in one move into the game, and this queen can come over here, or after white take the knight over here, then this queen can come over here to h5. So after that, if d into c5, then bishop into c5, now c4. The point is that as white has castled already, then it is in white's favor to open up the position. It would be in white's favor because still black is one move away from castling. And it is not easy to castle this side because these two bishops are eyeing these diagonals. And this knight can jump, this queen can jump into the attack. D into c4, bishop into c4. And in this way, white would be more better than the move he played a3. And actually, I think the white's concept was that he's going to play the move a3, then he might go for the move c4. Then, after exchanges like this, he's going to play the move b4 and expand on the queen side. Black played the move b6 because it was time still. His bishop was not developed. He must develop his bishop. Still, now e4 by white. As I have already told you, it is better for white to open up the position because still black's king is in the center. Bishop b7 by black, developing the bishop. Knight c3 by white. Till this move was good. But I don't know that why Gerasimov played this move. Did not play this move actually. That's why I think this game is famous. Still, there was this move available, d into c5, because after bishop into c5, now c into d5, and now black has to take whether with the knight or whether with the pawn, and he takes with the knight. Then, if you can't take this pawn, you can take it this pawn, but you must be very heavily theoretically prepared. Take this pawn. Otherwise, don't take it. Just do the normal developments. I'm going to show you that why you can't take this pawn, because bishop into g7 and rook g8. Bishop goes back, bishop to b2, and now black is going to castle, going to bring his rook once again over here, going to bring a make a battery like this, and white's king side is completely opened, and it is not an easy to play with white over here in this position. So knight into d5, and white can just go for the normal development like knight c3, challenging this knight over here. This was the better way to play, but in the game he went out for knight c3. Now e6 by black. The reason behind is that white does not want his knight to come over here and hit both of his queen and his bishop over here, because these two are the both attacking pieces which are hitting the white's king side. So rook e1 by white. Instead of here, still he had the move d into c5, and now it was very much better, because after bishop into c5, c into d5, and white has to take with the pawn. For example, if he takes with the knight over here, now after knight into knight and pawn into knight, now you are able to take this pawn over here, because one of the pieces have been exchanged. There will be not very fierce attack. Now this bishop is on this side of the board. It can come over here and defend his king side. That is the reason that you can take this pawn, and in this position, when white played the move rook e1, now it was very much better to take the pawn over here. But he did not do that. So after rook e1, and it was black who went out for this variation. C into d4, e into d4. And now black must prevent white from playing this move. Because if pawn takes, pawn can't take, because it is eyed to the king in this way. The knight has to take, and after knight takes, black loses a piece. So castle by black. And here I have drawn these arrows for you. Let's see. Here white's only one bishop is sitting this h8 pawn, but black's two pieces are hitting this h7 pawn. Black's three pieces are attacking on the king side, and white has just only two pieces defending. And the battle is going to be just fought in this circle. In this circle. So knight a4 by white. The reason behind knight a4 is that white wants to take the pawn, then he is going to play the pawn like this to b4. Bishop f4. And this is a very good move by Vasily Smyslov. The point of this bishop f4 is that, for one thing it is doing, that is controlling this square, that this rook on a1 does not come over here to c1. This is the first thing. And the second thing, remember in your mind that when you are going to attack on the king side, bring your pieces nearer to this king side. If your queen reaches over here, your many pieces are over here, then your attack would be very fierce. This is the concept. Knight e5 by white. After d into c4. Now if white takes this knight over here, it develops this bishop. And it was the beautiful time to take over here on c4. The reason behind is that now whenever this knight moves, this this second bishop would also be open. B into c4, now knight into e5, and now you see that this bishop is also eyeing, this bishop is also eyeing. First it was white whose bishops were eyeing the black's king side, but he blocked that diagonals himself, and black got the opportunity and he opened these diagonals for his pieces. So d into e5. Now queen c6. The point of queen c6 is that it is hitting this pawn over here on g2 and going to say that I'm going to mate you in just one move. And I want you people to pause the video. Sorry, not here. Don't want to people to pause the video because first defense was that bishop f1. Now rook ft8. The point of rook ft8 is that it is threatening this queen over here. So where to move the queen? I want you people to pause the video and think that where to move the queen. In the game where Gerasimov moved the queen, that was a mistake. I want you people to think this is a positional and defensive move you are doing because black is completely attacking you. Where to move the queen? Going to give you just 5 to 10 seconds. I hope you have understood that it is time to give the pawn away to the black to save your position, and the queen has to move over here on f3. Or f3, queen f3. Now queen into f3, pawn into queen, and you can take this pawn immediately, but there would be a problem. Why? Because now your knight is hanging. So you can't take this pawn immediately. You have to move the knight first. And where to move? Knight d7. And now, how to continue? This pawn is falling. I want you people to pause the video and again think that how white can continue in this position. I hope you have understood that this pawn is going to fall. But these two pawns are blocking, making a barricade over here. And this rook is not eyeing the open file because this knight is in the way. So the best way is that you are going to give up this pawn to this bishop over here on b7. Instead, you are going to pick up this pawn. And when your bishop will be over here on d4, the whole theme is that you are going to bring your bishop over here back e3 to challenge this bishop. And if this bishop takes, then this pawn takes, and your position would be equal. So in the game, white played the move queen b3, and that was the mistake of the game because now knight g4 by black, and now black attacks with force in this position, hitting this pawn with bishop. And I want you people to pause the video and think how to defend over here. The way Gerasimov defended was wrong actually, which was a blunder and lost at this spot. He lost at this spot. what is the best way to defend in this position, whether it is h3 or whether it is f3? What is the best way? I hope you have judged that the best way is the move f3. Even after knight into h3, you are giving up your h2 pawn, but now this queen, this bishop is being blocked, and you can defend over here. Defend this pawn. How? This is already being defended once, but it is being attacked thrice. How to defend it? You can just play the move rook ad1, but you are losing because black is just going to sacrifice. The game will continue for more moves, but at least you have a fight in the game. But here, black played the move h3 and it lost on the spot. Now I want you people to pause the video and find the beautiful combination which Wesley Smyslov generated. And it is not an easy move. I am going to telling you that it is not an easy move. It is a really a tough one. And if you see this move, then I would say that you are at a level of a Wesley Smyslov grandmaster. Okay, the move in this position is rook d3, and I won when I saw this move, when this was just a blast out of blue. Wow, now this rook is being hit by the queen and with the bishop also. But the problem is that you can't take with the bishop because this queen mates you in just one move. And the only way to save this game is that you are going to take with the queen over here, this rook, to prolong. Sorry, and white made the mistake. The only way to save the mate is that you play the move queen into rook, and the game is lost actually. Because if into queen into d3, now bishop h2 check, king to h1, only square, and now knight f2 check picks up the queen. But this was the only move to save the mate in this position. Instead, he went out for queen into b6, and that was the blunder of the game. Now, I want you people to again pause the video and think that if you have gone through the combination, you have seen this move rook d3, then you have also calculated this move also. Now, it is black to play and win. Yes, the move is rook into h3. The point is that you can't take the rook because I am going to mate you over here. So how safe? In the game, white played the move bishop d4, and that was just a mistake because now bishop h2 check, king has to move, king h2, king h1. Now bishop into e5 check, discovered check. Sorry, discovered check, and the king has to move, and his pieces are falling away just, and there is no defense afterwards. And in this position, Gerasimov resigned the game. Okay, if you like my video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much. Bye.